All right, boom, we back. What's happening, folks? Thanks for your time. I appreciate it, man. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Most importantly, pay attention. So, this is a continuation to a video I made called "The President a True Leader." Uh, it was touching on the fact in regards to our current perception and definition of a leader and a president, and what their duties are, and what they're supposed to be doing for the people they preside and govern over, right? And so, most importantly, the main consistent message that I was trying to stress in that last video was, is this somebody you want your kids to emulate? Is this somebody you want your kids to look at and idolize and admire? Is this somebody you want your kids to take notes when they talk, when they act? If they are put in the position of leadership and authority, and especially in such a distinctive and very specific role in regards to presiding and governing over different demographics and cultures of people, if you are put in that leadership role, you are automatically seen as, the man of the people, right? You are assumed as the man of the people because you understand the plight and struggles of everyone, which is why you were unanimously elected as the leader. You understand? So that's what I thought the definition of a leader was, especially, specifically a president. But that's not the same as what it is today, right? And so if you think it is in your eyes, like I said, is this something that you would let your son or your daughter be left alone with that person, and that person can start molding your child's mind, right? Is that somebody you can let your son or your daughter get advice from, right? Any kind of advice. But is that somebody that your child should learn from, should soak from? If they are a leader, they should have those attributes, right? They should possess these attributes and then possess them to the point where, like I said, is that every majority of people can see that person in that same light as that true leader and that authoritative figure who presides over everyone and at the same time governs with fair rule, right? Somewhat fair rule, which is why, like I said, if majority are electing this person, it's because majority are satisfied by this person. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this definition has been diluted when we look at the current definition and example of a quote-unquote president leader, right? The main reason why I'm bringing a sequel to this is just because, number one, it never stops, right? Every time you turn on the TV or anything, you hear some other racist, outrageous, sexist, you know, just condescending remarks that this man makes, and he makes it with no remorse, right? And so again, I ask you, especially if you are a Trump voter, especially, is this somebody you let your kid take lessons? You wouldn't mind him, teaching your kids a few things, right? If you guys expect him to fix the country, not alone fix the country, but preside over it, right, and govern over it, right? It's because not only does he have a great understanding of it, but he is somebody that has attributes that are better than most people, which is why he's elected, right? So I'd like to assume this is somebody you would want your kid to emulate, right? Well, I'm going to go through some examples. So by the end of this video, hopefully, you know, hopefully, if you do have that same, answer, it is what it is. But like I said, hopefully we can figure out what your definition of a leader is, and then I can maintain mine. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about these kids because they're watching. And so when they watch us vote and cheer on TV, along with the outrageous and racist ass comments, they know that you enjoy that. And I'm talking to that Trump supporter, right? I'm talking to you right now. They know you support that. So understand, if that's cool with you, then it's cool with you. But I'm just saying that if that is your definition, then I just hope you realize that not only is that not the true definition of a leader and the epitome of a president, but what you are instilling in your kids is going to lead them into the same path and the same destruction that you see your president Donald Trump going through and heading to. You understand? It's been nothing but a snowball of catastrophe ever since that man has been elected president. And anytime he opens his mouth, it's nothing but just loads of shit just flying out. You know what I'm saying? Just different shit. Just, oh, nasty shit, racist shit, sexist shit. Just a bunch of just talking shit, right? So, like I said, if that's what we want for our kids, if that's what y'all want for your kids, hey, I mean that's your choice, right? You can do what you want with your kids. I'm just saying, understand what's going on though. So we're gonna go ahead and check out some examples in regards to what I'm talking about. And come to find out, just today, which is the 11th, there was some more outrageous, racist ass comments in regards to how this man feels about other countries and especially the dark black people that are within those countries. Now I have no qualms or doubts in regards to how he feels about black people. I know Donald Trump is a racist person. I know that just because not only has he been sued and he's been taken to court for racially discriminating against residents in some buildings that he owned, but just the way he treats black people and people of color and that I've ever seen him when he engages people. You can just tell the way he treats them that he doesn't like us. He could care less of us, right? For us, let alone respect us. It's like my thing is this: you don't have to like me, right? And even President Trump, he doesn't have to like any black people. You're gonna respect though. That's my thing is that you don't have to like anything about me, but you're gonna, especially if you're in front of me, you're gonna respect me. You can talk all the shit you want away from me because that's easy, right? But see, that's the thing about Trump is that half of the people he talks shit about, not only will he not talk shit in front of him or not say any of this stuff in front of him, but it's one of those things where it's more of a condescending and not even being specific in regards to why he's even mad at those people, right? He just wants to just plainly insult. And this is the president, mind you, right? This is the leader. This is the person who's supposed to be setting example for the country within, domestic, and internationally. Not only is he showing the perception of himself and the reflection of the government internally, domestically, with the people within the United States, but then internationally, he's also leaving an impression, which y'all know anything outside of the United States, people actually have manners and culture. You understand? Like, you know that, right? Like, y'all get that. Like, y'all get people have actual manners and cultures outside the United States. Like, they don't put up with bullshit that majority of Americans put up with, because America does not necessarily just a strict line of morality that everyone is signed up and subscribes to. It's like some people are nice, some people are polite, most are not. I mean, it's just that simple. But like I said, in other places, people don't play like that, and that's more of like that's a global thing. That's a global thing. And if you've been out of the United States, you know that. If you just stay in the United States, you don't travel, then you don't know shit. You don't know what I'm talking about. You won't understand what I'm talking about. But most people have a certain level of etiquette and and respect when engaging with each other. You know what I mean? It's like most people talk to each other with a certain level of respect. And so my point is that what this president conveys is the lack of when it comes to people's cultures, when it comes to people's appearance, when it comes to people's statements, their struggles, their issues, their plights, anything and everything that has to do with especially black people or third world countries or Mexicans, anything like that that's got nothing to do with Caucasian people. Trump will not only Trump all over it, but he will disrespect it on the way out. You understand what I'm saying? So, if y'all don't believe me, then I'm going to show you some examples. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And like I said, if this is somebody that you voted in, then understand that your kids see you admiring such bigotry, such hatred. And if you guys think this is he doesn't mean it, or it's a joke, or the cloud, what I'm saying, that black gray cloud when it's about to rain, that it leaves on the country, that it leaves on discussions in regards to every level of politics, from immigration to the economy, to the tax reform, to whatever. The cloud that this man leaves during his presidency is not it's a dark one, right? It's dark, and we all know that. Whether you voted for him or not, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I had to redo this video last time because, to be honest with you, it's like I lost my composure a little bit, because sometimes when I watch some of the the crazy stuff that this man says, I think to myself, how could anybody in the right mind, who actually even has kids too, would even let this man take control of the country, as if he has everyone's intentions in mind, or majority of people's intentions in mind. And when I say majority of people, I mean the majority of the diverse cultures of people that reside within the country. You would assume that, right? And that's why you would elect a president, right? Is because whoever that is, unanimously, is because we all have the mutual conclusion that this man has all of our intentions and our thoughts in mind, which is why he's been elected. But what I know now and understand is the majority of people who voted for this man, that is not what they voted for. They voted for either their selfish reasons in regards to some kind of tax incentive, or what I'm saying, or some kind of financial incentive, or they voted on the fact that they are either white and a certain level of social class, and they wanted to maintain and preserve that. I'm convinced of that fact. I'm sure there's a large percentage of non-white people who voted for Trump, but there's a lot of non-white people who think they're white. You know what I'm saying? We live in a society of kind of like a whitewash type of mentality and perception. It's because majority of places, majority of things you do, majority of places you go, majority of places you spend your money, majority of things you do, it's a white person that owns it. So you will be influenced by them one way or another, because they have a supremacy that they've been maintaining throughout this time. Hence why every level of government is majority white people making decisions. Every level of entertainment, of ownership, is white people owning it. Every level of the corporate world is white people owning it. So any level of society, literally, they have a hold on it, and it's not because non-white people are not active enough. It's just because they wanted to maintain that control, right? So my point being is this. Now look where we are, right? So yeah, that's what y'all wanted. Y'all got it. Now look where we are. Now look where we are, right? I mean, I'm not even going to start on that book. I'll touch on it a little bit. Michael Wolff came out with a book called Fire and Fury about, old Psycho. And, it alluded to a lot of things that we already knew about him in regards to him being lazy. You can tell, look how fat he is. In regards to him being condescending with everyone around him. Look how he talks to everyone that's not around him. Or look how he talks to the press conference people. Look how he talks to women. Look how he talks to black people. Look how he talks to black women. Look how he talks to people that interview him. His shows, you see how he conducts himself. We've seen that they said that he eats a lot of cheeseburgers. Like I said, look how fat he is. He doesn't seem to be getting any skinnier, or nor like he's working on it. I've seen countless pictures of him in that private jet eating cheeseburgers and KFC, and look how big he is. It's not like that man don't eat quinoa with goddamn salmon. You know what I mean? He don't do that. We can tell. What else? What else did they say? He's not fit for office because he's kind of mentally deranged. We've seen all the crazy shit he's said. We've seen all the crazy shit he's done. He's at even one point in time, which he wasn't even president yet, but brought up the fact that President Obama was a Muslim and was from Kenya, and he had proof. And That was the beginning of all this fake news shit. And the first black president, for you to come out publicly to try to discredit him to the point to number one, call him a Muslim, which not only today, but even back then, that could get you killed. So it's like, while President Obama was president, he was saying things that could potentially get him hurt, and then also saying he wasn't even from his country. So somehow, Obama fooled the CIA, the FBI, goddamn Interpol, you name it, right? All these people, NSA. He fooled everybody with a fake ID and a fake birth certificate from fucking Kenya, right? He came through and fooled every goddamn person, and now he was a president. But then the only person who knew was fake ass Trump, right? Well, he never produced any proof of that, and so on and so forth. And I don't need to keep kind of elaborating. Y'all know, even the Trump voter, you know how much that man is full of shit. You know that. So understand, the only reason why you voted for him is because you know he's full of shit, and he was just gonna help your kind out. And if you think that it's got anything to do with anything else, that's what I'm saying. It's like, just like Trump, you're not fooling nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is how bad this shit is, right? He called Mexicans racist. Oh no, he called Mexicans rapists. I mean, they send their worst over here, and then he says he's not racist, right? He was talking to that black lady at the White House. The I forgot her name, but she was asking a question at the White House, and then Trump shoots off and assumes that all black people know each other in the White House. So he tells her she needs to set up the meeting that she's inquiring about, since she's black and you know, she knows the Black Caucus people. So they, you know, since they know each other, they need to go ahead and she needs to set it up. Just condescending and dismissive the way he was talking to her. And I can go on with all the people women he didn't call fat, people he didn't call losers and this and that. So it's like I said, for me to elect and to push someone like that in front of me to say, you have my interest in heart and you know better, and I'm gonna trust and I'm gonna entrust my kids' security too in your hands. For us to do that, like I said, there's only one type of person who will be that confident in Trump, and that is predominantly people who look like him. You know, and that's it. You know, and so he's definitely proving to everyone else that's exactly who he's for. Just like how he was, you know, he was siding with the Donald Dukes and the what's that weird ass name? What's that weird ass dude? The country dude. Anyway, just these racist ass fucking dudes who he ended up inviting into the White House, and they all took pictures. Racist fucking bastards. So my point is this: I don't know how far y'all want to take it, and at the detriment and at the cost of who and how many of our kids. I don't know. I don't know how far y'all want to take it, because we told y'all before he even got there that this ain't it. But y'all pushed it and y'all kept it going. So now we're here. And so I ask y'all, is this what we want for our kids? That's what I ask y'all. Is this what you want your kid to watch you admire? Is this level of ignorance and disrespect? That's your definition of a leader. That's what you will put your money on. That. Like, I can't even imagine what's after that. Like, what do y'all got after that? Because that's at the bottom of the barrel. And he knows it too. So I'm going to go ahead and just get to some of these shots, these clips that I got for you guys. And then I got a few articles too, because, like I said, y'all know what he stands for. That's why y'all elected him. You know, y'all ain't fooling nobody. I know exactly why y'all voted for him. Majority of y'all. It's because he looks like y'all, and y'all wanted to make sure that y'all were going, he's going to ensure white supremacy. He's going to maintain it. He's going to keep that stamp on her. You know what I'm saying? He's going to keep his foot. He's going to keep our foot on their neck. He's going to maintain that. Whether y'all meant that passively or aggressively or in the middle, I don't give a fuck. I just know, and at the end of the day, it wasn't about this man governing fairly, because y'all knew that he did not govern fairly, period, before he even stepped in. Y'all knew he didn't govern fairly, period. Y'all knew he wasn't a fair person, period. He wasn't a diverse person, period. Y'all knew that. Y'all knew these things about him.
Story that broke since we've been on the air. We had to sneak in that break to make it family friendly. Let me read you a little bit from that piece. The title, Trump attacks protections for immigrants from bleep hole countries in Oval Office meetings. I hope I did that okay. President Trump grew frustrated. From the piece by Josh Dawsey, writing in the Washington Post, quote, President Trump grew frustrated with lawmakers Thursday in the Oval Office when they floated restoring protections for immigrants from Haiti, El Salvador, and African countries as part of a bipartisan immigration deal, according to two people briefed on the meeting. Quote, why are we having all these people from bleep countries come here, Trump said, according to these people, referring to African countries and Haiti. He then suggested that the United States should instead bring more people from countries like Norway. Prime Minister, I can't get through this, Eddie Glaude. Some reporting over the holidays, actually, about the president making similarly derogatory comments. I forget what group he was maligning in those accounts, but they may have been lost on the broader public over the holidays. Can you speak to
shithole countries, right? That's what he considers. That's what he considers the Hades and and the Africas, shithole countries. And this is in a room full of nothing but fucking white people. Number white people, maybe one black person. I'll tell you, I'll be nice. There's probably 3 black people in there out of goddamn 30 white people. I'll be nice. I'll say there's 3 black people out of 30 white people in there. So they're talking about. So let me get this straight too. And I know, and let me tell you nothing too. When they're, well, let me just pose the question before I lay the commentary in regards to the immigration for Mexicans or even Haiti. Why aren't there any Haitians in there? Why aren't there any Haitians in there? What about the president of Haiti? He can't come in there and talk about Haitian immigration coming in to America. He can't come in and talk about it. No. There's no Haitian community or there's no Haitian electives. Is there any Haitian political representatives? Were they in there? I doubt it. So it was a bunch of people who were not from Haiti. It was a bunch of people who have no connection to Haiti talking about basically the future of Haiti. Okay, so let's go to the wall about Mexico. Was the Mexican president there talking to him, or maybe relaying any information, or was there any Mexican political representation for them to speak for them in regards to statistics or even just ideology and where they feel like they are, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like, was there any Mexican correspondence in regards to trying to figure out a resolution to the problem that has to do with Mexicans? Were there any other races or cultures of people in there discussing this issue about either the wall or the Haitians coming in? Or was it nothing but Caucasian men talking about Mexicans? That none of them are from Mexico. None of them have any connections to Mexico. So why the fuck would they, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, of course none of these people care because none of them are from there. They don't have any connection. They probably don't even know anybody from, you think Trump knows anybody from goddamn Haiti? You think Trump knows somebody from Haiti? You think he knows what they eat over there? What they talk? No. So why the fuck would he care about how they live? and how they die, how they cry, how they eat. Why would he care? He doesn't talk to none of them. How many Mexican friends you think Trump got? Why would he care? Why would any decision in there be favorable to these people when none of those people are there to represent themselves? If I'm in a room talking about dogs all day, whatever decision I make is going to favor, it's not going to favor goddamn dogs. Ain't no dog in there ain't no dog in the fight to hold his own about his own. And so for you people who do not understand why there's so much frustration on the ethnic side of things, is because there is no representation. There is no full representation. There is a bunch of Caucasians who make decisions for everybody else. And then what the worst thing is that y'all pick the most outrageous, shoot from the hip, unstable person to make these decisions. And y'all know it too. I mean, it's just y'all know he won't jeopardize y'all because he's one of y'all. But see, understand that he will jeopardize y'all because if any war pops off, do y'all think he gonna be there? Is he sending? You think he gonna be sending any of them shit sons he has? No, he's gonna go hide in some bunker, while he's the one that instigated the whole thing. That last thing about whose button's bigger than yours with Kim Jong-un, if he lets that shit off, where do you think he's gonna be? And where do you think you're gonna be? And he's the one that started the whole shit. He gonna be in a bunker somewhere, if not a whole other country, while you here and everybody we all dying off some bullshit. And that man has never fought no war. He had a chance to go to Vietnam, but he finagled his way out of that, right? He paid a doctor to write some fake ass doctor slip about a bone spur, and he got out of that. So we know he's not a fighter. We know that. He just talks shit. But for some reason nowadays, when people talk shit, they consider that balls. You know what I'm saying? Like they consider that real shit. And we know how he feels about people who have balls, right? We know how he feels about them. I mean, even what he had said about John McCain, he said he don't like people that get captured. At least the motherfucker went and got captured. What'd you do? You ran. You ran before you even got there. And could y'all even imagine Trump punching somebody? Could y'all imagine that shit? Let me get back to it, man. All right, I got something else for y'all. So, before I go any further, I looked up, I wanted to look up the definition of what we've been talking about here. So the president, right? If we look at the root word of president, that's preside, right? So that is to be in position of authority, in a meeting or gathering, right? To be in charge of a place or a situation. He presided over a period of great budgetary recklessness, right? Synonyms: to be in charge, be responsible for, right? To be in charge of, to be responsible for, be at the head, helm of, right? Manage, administer, be in control of, right? Control, direct, lead, govern, rule, command, supervise, oversee. So these are the attributes of a president, because in which how he presides. So my thing is this though. I ask y'all, the same way I asked you in regards to, is this somebody you want your kids to emulate? Is this somebody who you deem to be in control of the situation of being president? In this past year and some change, he's been presiding. How much control have y'all seen in this man y'all have so much faith in? Honestly, how much control he has personally in regards to what he's doing and what he's saying? And how thought out is it? How thought out is it? Smart? Is it smart just to talk, just to literally say anything that's rude, that can bring any kind of news and attention? Is it smart to call people fat and ugly? Women at that? Is that smart? So we should tell our kids to do that, huh? at 60 years old, call women, middle-aged women, fat pigs, and tell other men to go grab women by the pussy. That's what we need to be doing, huh? That is the epitome of a man who's in charge and who is responsible for, right? All right? Okay. Okay. Right. All right. Well, I just wanted us to be sure on the definition and what you thought or what your definition is and what the true definition is. So let's go back to this distinguished, you know, president who is so in charge, you know what I'm saying, and so responsible. Let's go back to this smart man and see what else he can grace us with in regards to his, his magical words and of wisdom.
Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing.
First of all, statistically, there is no immigrant influx of violence, and actually, it's the other way around. Majority of immigrants are actually nonviolent because of the fact that they could be deported. They have families, they have kids here, so a lot of them actually have jobs and they're making money, and they're paying bills, and their kids are in school. So just to let y'all know that in regards to the percentage, it's actually the other way around, is because majority of them actually have kids and they're living. They're not running around gangbanging. That's the small percentage of any fucking group of people who's doing some stupid shit.
Bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Okay, so he made it majority of them are running around doing crime and rapists, and some are good people, as if the 10% are the good people, but the 90% are the ones committing the crimes. Folks, Arizona, Texas, whatever it is, yes, there's going to be Mexicans people in jail there because there's a lot of Mexican people who live there. Fucking period. God damn it. There's a shitload of Mexican people who live in Texas. Goddamn New Mexico. It's the border. That's where the border's at. That's where the border's at. But a lot of them are actually from America. They're not from even goddamn Mexico, because majority of immigrants are not trying to go to jail. You know why? It's because they have kids.
Somebody's doing the raping, Don. I mean, somebody's doing the. You think it's women being raped? Well, who's doing?
This is the president. Look, at this time, presidential candidate, and that's what he has to say. Well, somebody's doing the raping. What type of loose ass statement is that? What type of what I'm saying? Like, for you Trump supporters, is this how you want your kid to make statements about anything? It's just to go, well, somebody's doing it. And especially if you're running for goddamn president, just to talk that fucking loose, somebody's doing the raping. What the fuck does that mean? That means you're just trying to find somebody to blame on the raping. That's like going, man, somebody stole my shit. Somebody stole my phone. Man, I ain't steal your phone. Well, somebody stole it. So you just want somebody to steal it. You just want to put it on somebody. That's what that means. Because somebody is not saying Mexicans did it. Somebody's raping them. That's saying that could be anybody else. God damn it! What the fuck are you saying? And this is the person, when he was making these remarks, y'all are going, oh, this is perfect. He's right. Yeah, he's right. This is exactly what a real man says.
Doing the raping.
I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
I'm not going to pay for that wall.
The wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me.
To say these things and be joking about it, the wall just got 10 feet taller. I'm gonna build a wall to separate these people, and then to separate the countries, and then make them pay for it as if it was their idea. And like I said, just the rhetoric, the intention, all of it. Like I said, how mature really is that, people? Like, how mature really is that? Like, I'm trying to come at y'all real cool here, because last time I was a little fired up because, I feel disrespected by all of this. But I'm trying my best, I'm saying, if I keep my composure, maybe I can reach a few more of y'all in regards to what I'm saying. But to be honest with you, I have all the right to be cussing y'all out because, I mean, it is what it is. Y'all literally, y'all politically cussed us out. Not even cussed us out. Y'all sentenced us all to fucking hell by putting in someone like that because y'all know he is, you know what I'm saying? He supports nothing but racist type of ideology. That's it. That's it. And so the ones who are okay with voting him in, I hope you understand the imprint and the impression that you're leaving on not only on yourself subconsciously and subliminally, but most importantly, like I said, your kids. What you're doing to your kids is even worse. It's because what it's doing to them is that it's showing them it's okay to hate, and it's okay to hate other people that don't look like you. It's okay. It's okay because it's okay because it's your opinion and you can think what you want. Blah blah blah. That's what it's teaching your kid, and so I hope y'all are okay with that because that's exactly what's going on. And if you don't believe me, we just saw what he was saying. We're gonna see what he's saying about us.
African American youth. I mean, to a point where they've just about never done more poorly. There's no spirit. There's killings on an hourly basis.
African American youth, there's no spirit. There's no spirit. He says African American youth has no spirit. How much money does African American youth generate in the hip hop industry? And African American youth has no spirit. And most of this African American youth that is creating this type of music don't even have any goddamn money. So most of them come from poverty, and he says we don't have any spirit. Okay. Okay. Then what about in all these colleges that you motherfuckers got us in playing these footballs, the OUs and OSU? Are those not young African American youth? They ain't got no spirit. But who's generating billions of dollars for y'all when it comes to playing in the NCAAs, when it comes to basketball, when it comes to football and every other goddamn sport that y'all put us in and pimp us and make money off of us? That's still no spirit? That's not no spirit enough, huh? Trump, did you play football at that level? Did you play basketball at that level? Have you ever been in high level and high intensity competitive sports, Trump? No, didn't think so. All right. What about in the professional realm, NFL and NBA? How many young black youth are playing in the NBA and generating millions and billions of dollars for the white owners who own the team and own the stadium and own the franchise and own every level of business up except playing and actually sweating on the goddamn basketball court and on the field? And that's no spirit, huh? All that's no spirit. I see. And the countless young entrepreneurs and academic scholars who have, throughout pressure and resistance from racist academia, they have still come through. People like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who have been doing what they've been doing since young kids. People like John Henry Clark. People like Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, who moved and came here at young ages and ended up being college professors in places like Cornell University. But yet, the Malcolm X's, the Tupac Shakur's, yet we have no spirit. You see, unfortunately, through all the bullshit y'all put us through, not only do we have spirit, we got more spirit than y'all motherfuckers can ever fucking have, ever.
Virtually in places like Baltimore and Chicago, certain sections of Chicago.
You said of Barack Obama, sadly, because President Obama has done such a poor job as president, you won't see another black president for generations.
You see what I'm saying? This is the type of rhetoric. This is the type of rhetoric that this man is going to push. And this is the type of rhetoric this man encourages. I ask y'all, man, this is the type of person that you want your kids to grow up to be. That the first example of some kind of diversity in this country, this man spits all over it by saying that he has done a poor job and we won't see another one for generations. He's telling us, and we won't see another one. All right, well then let's see how bad of a job this man done. And also let's compare it to this piece of shit too. All right, well, the first one passed healthcare reform after 5 presidents over a century failed to create universal health care. He signed over the Affordable Care Act in 2010. It covered 32 million uninsured Americans beginning in 2014 and mandates a suite of experimental measures to cut health and cost growth. Passed the stimulus. That was signed a $787 billion American Recovery and Reinvestment Act in 2009 to spur economic growth amidst the greatest recession since the Great Depression, creating a total of nearly 3.7 million new private sector jobs. And 12 months later, the private sector began producing more jobs than it was losing. All right. Weeks after the stimulus went into effect, unemployment claims began to subside. So he wants to know. So he thinks he did such a shitty job, passed the health care. Like, there's a lot of things that I didn't agree with Obama, but the motherfucker was working. The man was working. The brother was working. The brother was working. Passed Wall Street reform. They were in a slump. Y'all remember that too. But y'all don't forget that stimulus package when we had to bail out all them shits. Ended the war in Iraq. Ordered all U.S. military forces out of the country. Last troops left December 18, 2011. Donald Trump wants us to go to war. He's talking about buttons, whose buttons bigger than whose, like he's a fucking 16-year-old. Like he's trying to impress some chick, you know. Is that how you want your kid to be handling shit? When he's grown, you want him to talk about whose button's bigger than whose? Okay, I understand. I guess that's what men do. I guess that's what y'all, I don't understand. Anyway, began drawdown of war in Afghanistan from a peak of 101,000 troops in 2011. U.S. forces are now down to 91,000 with 23,000 slated to leave by the end of summer 2012. He eliminated Osama bin Laden. He killed off bin Laden in 2011 in Pakistan. Turned around U.S. auto industry. Y'all remember when GM and Chrysler fell apart? Injected $62 billion in federal money on top of a $13.4 billion in loans from the Bush administration into ailing GM and dumbass Chrysler, and returning for equity stakes and agreements for massive restructuring. And this is not what he created. This is the shit that was put on his lap and that he had to deal with. And as controversial and as a, you know, just a straight problem Trump is, if he had any of these issues facing him, I almost guarantee he wouldn't have even got to goddamn number 2, let alone number 1, because of all the bullshit and hoopla that he creates voluntarily himself. Half of the stuff that's talked about that lands this dumbass in trouble, he is talking about, he says it himself. He just come out his mouth. He'll just shoot from the hip. And it's just ridiculous. So anyway, I need to just stay focused. I'm trying to stay focused and not just rant about this guy. I mean, because I could go on all day, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my point across in regards to him saying that President Obama did the worst job. And so right here, just the first 3 things are things that haven't been done in over 5. They said here over 5 presidents and over a century failed to create the universal health insurance, and this man got it passed. So, recapitalized banks in the midst of financial crisis. He approved controversial Treasury Department plan to lower private capital in the country's largest banks via stress test of their balance sheets and a public-private fund to buy their toxic assets. Took out Gaddafi. I really wasn't in favor of that, to be honest with you, but y'all wanted that. So I can keep going. The list goes on. The list goes on. The list goes on. The list goes on. You understand what I'm saying? So when we see this right here, we understand that this is a grown man just wanting to instigate some kind of chaos. The same way when President Obama became president, not only was this man saying that he was a Muslim and saying it at a dangerous time, but he's also saying that he was from Kenya and he was lying about being from Hawaii. So constantly being very, very, very instigative, very, confrontational, very confrontational. And if this is what you want your kid to act like when he is 60-something years old, like, you really have a problem, and you really need to recheck your definition of what you deem a leader and who you vote for as your leader, people. If this is the man that you want your kid to act like at 60-something years old.
What did you mean by that?
He has done nothing for African Americans. You look at what's gone on with their income levels, you look at what's gone on with their youth. I thought that he would be a great cheerleader for this country. I thought he'd do a fabulous job for the African American citizens of this country. He has done nothing. They are worse now than just about ever.
Donald Trump is leading the attack on Indian gambling.
Not $1 goes in taxes from Indian reservations. I can tell you this, they're taking money away from the church. They're taking money away from the state of Connecticut.
You sound like a politician.
They're taking money away
from the old people.
Excuse me, they are taking money
From the
away from the
church.
old people.
So then he finally figured out a way to take money and make money off of the Indians. The same Keystone Pipeline that President Obama vetoed and, and stalled out is the first thing this man did when he became president, was trample all over the Indian land and continue building the Keystone Pipeline, which has already dumped a shitload of oil in certain rivers and is creating a mess already. It was on the news about 2-3 months ago. It happened in, I want to say, mid to late fall, but already has caused a spill of oil in some of them rivers over there in Indian land. First chance he got.
They're taking money away from the seniors.
Are they taking money away from you?
I really don't know that it affects me.
Donald Trump talks about an unlevel playing field. Well, the playing field has never been level for the American Indian. It's always been an uphill battle.
And Trump is making sure it will be uphill, warning that Indian gambling is vulnerable to organized crime.
Al Capone is going to look like a baby.
I've heard the McCarthyism scare tactic time and time again, and there's no proof.
That an Indian chief is going to tell Joey Killer to please get off his reservation
He being condescending right there. He talking shit right there.
is almost unbelievable to me.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
To ban, literally, like, I'm not even with religions. I don't fuck with, I don't deal with no religions. But for this man to ban a whole religion as if all of them, are in cahoots. So what about like, what about all the crazy people that are Christians that have done some crazy shit? So have any Christians been banned? Like, I'm pretty sure half of these damn school shooting motherfuckers were Christians. I'm pretty sure some of these people who went and shot up some Muslim and some churches were Christians and did it in the name of Jesus. But I don't see him banning a whole group of Christians. To put a label on a whole group of people, period, is just telling you exactly what that person thinks about all those people.
Tell you what, the Quran is very interesting. A lot of people say it teaches love, and there is a very big group of people who really understand the Quran far better than I do. I'm certainly not an expert, to put it mildly, but there's something there that teaches some very negative vibe.
Remember how you were saying, well, there's somebody doing the raping? Didn't it kind of sound the same way he said that? Well, somebody's doing the raping. It sounds the exact same way he said this right here. That's when you know he bullshitting, when he just goes, well, somebody's doing it, because he just wants to put it on somebody. He just wants to create the energy. This man is evil.
Understand the Quran far better than I do. I'm certainly not an expert, to put it mildly, but there's something there that teaches some...
Remember how he didn't know who was doing all the raping? He said there's somebody raping. And then in the Quran, there's something there that teaches...
very negative vibe.
There's just something there. Remember? He said that shit. Remember, he said, well, there's something. He said, here, let me go, I'm going to find that. I'm going to have to just go ahead and find it. No, I'm gonna move on. Let's keep it
I
pushing.
think Islam hates us. There's something there.
Here we go again with the something there. You see what I'm saying? Do y'all see the pattern with this motherfucker? Where when he starts saying, well, there's something there, that's when you don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying there's something, but there's nothing specific. But all you want to do is pin this thing on them. These people hate us. Why? I don't know. There's just something there. The same way he said there's a bunch of Mexican people raping people, he said, there's just, well, somebody doing the raping. Right now, he just said,
There's some very negative vibe. There's something there that teaches some very negative vibe. I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there.
there we go again. I'm not going to specify why I think the whole religion hates me, but I think it's something. To condemn a whole religion and then not specify why you think they're condemning you, like I said, is only just instigative and confrontational, and you only just saying this shit because you want people who hate people to cheer you on. And this is how you want your kids to be talking at the age 60 years old, to blame a whole religion for something, but then you just say it's something and you don't specify exactly what and why.
There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it.
Last night you told CNN, quote, Islam hates us. Did you mean all 1.6 billion Muslims?
I mean a lot of them.
I have this sincere belief that if people get to know each other one-on-one, that they'll stop being afraid of each other and we'll be able to get rid of all the...
How do you do that when you create a narrative of Islam hates us? I don't know why, but bottom line is saying that a whole religion of people hates you. How do you create any type of coexistence, and mutual respect when one person paints a broad stroke about a whole group of people and then expect all these people to live together cohesively? Y'all see what I'm talking about, man. And like I said, whoever voted for this man, understand that if you don't stand for this, then it looks like you do. And it's sad that you were dumb enough to not realize that. But like I said, you were even worse off if you don't understand what the fuck you were voting for. But to the ones that did understand, and y'all understand that y'all are just as racist as this man. Y'all hate Muslims, y'all hate black people. Call it what it is. Don't play that game acting like y'all did it for political, whatever the fuck, where it's not about any. You did it just because of the fact that you felt this man is going to preserve your whiteness and your white privilege and the supremacy that you guys have always had. Simple as that. And if that means whatever in taxes or tax returns, or if that means that y'all thought he was gonna hook y'all up in some kind of benefit, that's the same thing. It's because you knew that somehow he's gonna wind up taking care of people that look like him, which is majority of Trump supporters.
In the world, literally.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. You are part of the war on women.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10, okay?
Right.
I mean, it has to be extraordinary. They said, how are you going to change the pageant? And I said, I'm going to get the bathing suits to be smaller and the heels to be high.
And mind you, this man he bought the Miss USA. And y'all honestly think he did that for the most noble reasons? Do y'all think so?
Higher.
If you're looking for a rocket scientist, don't turn in tonight. Right. But if you're looking for a...
So this is what the president says. This is how your kid should talk when he's 60 fucking years old. Sorry, losers and haters, but my IQ is one of the highest, and you all know it. Please don't feel stupid or insecure. It's not your fault. Okay, so I hope this is what I hope most of y'all understand. You don't tell us how smart you are. You do something smart, and then we tell you how smart you are. Okay? That's how you don't ever tell your kid. If whoever voted for Trump and thought this was a great fucking statement, listen closely, motherfucker. Well, I'm sorry. Listen closely, ma'am. Listen closely, sir. If you tell your kid to run around telling everybody he's smart, he's actually gonna look like a fucking idiot. Because what can you imagine a girl or a dude walking around saying, "I'm so good looking," and that girl talking about, "I'm so hot, I'm so fine"? No. You know why? It's because you'll be looked at as a fucking idiot, right? What happens is it happens the other way around. Somebody has to see you and deem you attractive, and then they say, "Hey, you know what? You look good," and then you can feel like you're smart and you have a high IQ, right? You can feel like a genius. But see, that's why you keep it to yourself, right? You know why you keep it to yourself? Because it's steam for yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem, because that's steam for your motherfucking self, right? Thank you, Cat Williams, for that one. But that, telling people you're smart is actually telling people that you're an idiot, is because if you're really smart, all you gotta do is just be smart. You ain't gotta tell nobody. And then we tell you that. We compliment and go, "You're smart." When you die, how do you tell everybody who and how you were? You don't leave a eulogy. Your friends and people who are around you think about who you were, and then they talk about who you are when you die. You don't talk about fucking you. So understand that if the president is telling us and telling people that they're losers and haters and that his IQ is one of the highest, then understand it's literally the opposite. He's saying, my IQ is one of the lowest, and you all know it, right? And you all don't know it. It's literally the opposite. My IQ is the lowest, and you all don't know it. And then he says, please don't feel stupid or insecure. He's actually saying, please do feel stupid and insecure. It's not your fault. It is your fault. You see what I'm saying? That's how you break this dude down. That's how he tries to, he's that much of an idiot. That's how dumb he is that literally everything he's saying, it's opposite. It's literally the opposite. And he doesn't get it. He doesn't get he's showing at least people like me who get it, he doesn't get that he's showing us his cars. But now this is the thing. Let me give you another example. Am I running around going, I'm a fucking genius because I understand that this guy's an idiot? No. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to tell you why I think he's an idiot. I'm going to show you why. And then y'all can compliment me all day when I'm done.
Really beautiful woman you should watch.
Well, obviously, it's great outer beauty. I mean, we could say politically correct that the look doesn't matter, but the look obviously matters. Like you wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful. She was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She said he's a pussy. That's Tara. Tara.
If Hillary Clinton can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she can satisfy America?
Like he said that. He really said that. He really said that. And now this is assuming he can satisfy Melania, let alone any woman at that. Like that fat dude. He's talking as if he can put it down. Now remember, let's do the opposite thing with him. That's saying that he can't do it for Melania. That's all it's telling you. That's saying him and Melania do not have sex. That's all that says to me. That says to me, him and Melania do not have sex, and they probably sleep in different rooms.
There is so much wrong with this tweet, I don't even know where to begin.
Charles Krauthammer, who's called you a rodeo clown.
Well, Charles Krauthammer is a totally overrated person who really dislikes me. I'm worth a fortune. You know what's interesting? I went to the best school, got the best, great marks, everything.
Remember the opposite thing? We're supposed to say that about you.
Else. I went out, I made a fortune, a big fortune, a tremendous fortune, and then I get called by a guy that can't buy a pair of pants. I get called names. Give me a break.
I had this accident when I was in medical school.
He just said that man can't wear, just because he can't wear pants because he's paralyzed. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
And I'm in a wheelchair. At that time, I made a vow to myself that I would not allow.
And I'm not saying I've never made fun of somebody. I'm just saying I don't make fun of people like that. Like, you don't make fun of, you don't go out your way to make fun of somebody crippled like that. You don't do that.
To alter the trajectory of my life.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
That reporter he is talking about is Serge Kovaleski, who now works for the New York Times.
He's not a war hero. He's a war hero. He's a war hero. 5.5 years. He's a war.
Hey, and this is the man, obviously, right? This is the patriot, right? This is the man who cares about our army. So this is how he talks about the war heroes and how, that's what I'm saying, I just don't understand how y'all respect it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Are you
I
racist?
am the least racist person that you have ever met. I am the least racist person.
Okay, wait. Let's do a pledge. Everybody here, who likes me in this room?
Remember the opposite thing I was telling y'all? Remember the opposite thing I was telling y'all?
I am the least racist person that you have ever met. I am the least.
You see how he's stressing the least? Stress the opposite.
Racist person.
Okay, wait. Let's do a pledge. Everybody here, who likes me in this room? Okay. I've never done this before. Can I have a pledge, a swearing? Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I, no matter how I feel, no matter what the conditions, if there's hurricanes or whatever, that's good enough, will vote on or before the 12th for Donald J. Trump for president. Thank you.
Parteigenossen, am Schluss dieser gewaltigen Riesendemonstration erheben wir uns von den Plätzen. Wir grüßen das ganze Deutschland in unserem Lebensraum und jenseits der Grenzen und rufen aus übervollen Herzen: unser Volk, unser Vaterland und unser Führer, Heil!
You know, it'd almost be a compliment to call him, you know, anything close to that guy. It'd almost be a compliment, you know. So, bottom line is this, folks. I done showed y'all the proof, and y'all seen it yourselves. And like I said, it's sad to see this day and age that we both, you know, culturally, we all have a different definition of what we deem a leader and what we deem a president, and how they should govern and preside over the diverse demographic that they're supposed to fairly govern over. And that's unfortunate that, like, you know, that I don't want to say majority of us, but a certain percentage of us, we only see it in the biased eyes, and we are not taking off, you know what I'm saying, the biased lens and trying to empathize with the rest of the people that you coexist with. And what's unfortunate is, you know, what aggravates a lot of people the most, and especially me, and why I had to start saying something and making these videos to just blatantly put this out here, so I can understand that if whoever is on that side, you know you're on that side. You see, this is the thing. You got to know, because if you don't, they're using you. Somebody's using you. That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to know where you stand. Because if you don't know where you stand, you might be standing on the wrong side. I know you don't want to be in it. I don't want to be in it either, but I didn't start it. I just know my people are dying out here. I know my country. I know I know all around this world, any country that has a skin not only has been colonized, not only has been raped for its mineral resources and probably even its people, but one thing's for sure is that people from the outside came in, took the shit over, and it ain't been right ever since. Every country with this skin, there is problems. Economic, social, instability. And it's not even caused by them. It's not. Even right now, you can say the Nigerians, all of them, because these people have always been meddled by foreign entities and foreign governments, foreign fucking people. So ever since that connection and that touch, it's been a fucking problem. And so now, you know, we have a person like President Obama who was put president, which gives people a glimmer of hope in regards to maybe seeing a raindrop of diversity. Because that was a goddamn raindrop. There wasn't no puddle. There wasn't nothing. It was a raindrop. One president out of 43, whatever, don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. And he wasn't even full black anyway. Don't mean shit. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. And then, so obviously y'all were mad about that, so then y'all get this television, reality, character, fat guy, who can't, you can tell he does not have sex with that lady. Secret Service, somebody Secret Service smashing that. Somebody else digging in. He's not. He is not. Anyway, my point is that if we deem our leaders and our presidents with two different definitions, and especially one always being a very negative and confrontational and colonizing definition, then we're always going to have a problem. There's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be a problem because people like us, we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it. Simple as that. So, it's either you're prepping your kids and, you know, y'all's future to, you know, to take on and carry on this Trump personality, this Trump perception. I don't know. I'm just watching. I'm trying to see what's going on here. I don't know what y'all trying to do. But one thing's for sure, we watching, and the whole world's watching too. Don't forget that too. Don't forget the impression that man is leaving on the whole world. Look at the nasty impression he's leaving on his, you know, domestically. So you can't even imagine the impression he's leaving internationally in the rest of the world. Can't even imagine how people perceive this country. And let me tell you another thing too. Nobody's scared of this guy. Like for real, like honestly. Like nobody's scared of this guy. Like yeah, you have to understand. Like he don't pump fear. Like I don't understand who would be scared of him. Like he don't pump. Like he doesn't like, you know, like when he's talking to other foreign leaders or, you know, like he doesn't like make somebody just kind of like, oh shit, like that's, and he's just spoke. You know, he doesn't. Like he better have a few security, you know, the Secret Service motherfuckers. He better have a couple of them around. But so I'm saying it's just sad because the impression I feel it gives is it's almost like, you know, that rich bully who, you know, he's never busted a grape in a fruit, you know, in a fruit fight, but he'll pay 4-5 people to bust goddamn cantaloupes. You know what I mean? He's one of them motherfuckers. He's one of them dudes. He wouldn't punch shit. He wouldn't even slap something. But he'll pay a whole goddamn gang to get your ass. That's the type of snake he is. You know what I mean? There's no spine. No spine. No, you know what I'm saying? No gut. No heart. He ain't no heart. That man ain't got no heart. You can see it. You can see it in his eyes, the way he talks. Look, just because someone talks real left and crazy and rude does not mean that they're a strong individual. You know, just because people talk crazy all the time. Don't mean shit. Don't mean shit at all. Like I said, that man, you know, he'll run from a wasp. You know, so that's why I find it just crazy when he talks this crazy about other men. That's why he's quick to talk crazy about women. You know, but either way, even with these men, it'll never be something where he'll see them. That's why he feel like he can like, shit, I'll say whatever I want. But like I said, it just shows the spinelessness of it. You know, of it. It shows the lack of a man he is. And I'm just saying this because I would never, if I saw my son acting like that, if I saw my son talking on a Twitter, even right now, if I saw my nephew, I don't got no kids. If I saw my nephew right now talking crazy like that at a young age, I'd slap the shit out of him. At 60, I'll probably punch shit out of him at 60 since he grown as shit. What are you doing? Like, who talk like that? Who talk like that? You know? So that's the thing I don't understand. That's really what I don't understand about it. I'm not going to go too far until y'all know some of the crazy statements, you know. Any negative polls are fake news. Just like CNN, ABC, NBC, polls in the election. Sorry, people, want border security and extreme vetting. Any negative polls, not even, if it's negative, it's fake. If it's bad about me, then it's fake. That's it. But if it's right, if it's cool about me, then it's true. This is the shit that we want, that y'all want to look up to. Well, that's where we at, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are where we are. And like I said, today he just said some crazy shit, calling Africa a shithole and the Brazilians a shithole. And these are the places. See, he calls them shitholes, but he got cell phones and iPhones and computers, and half of this shit is it's mined. They mine that coltan, right? They mine that coltan, which is a mineral that they use for the capacitors in electronic devices, right? And all these countries, which is Brazil, Australia, Africa, they got all this coltan that make these that they put in computers, cell phones, all of that, right? But to him, these are shitholes, right? These are shitholes. And what do you say? I'm the least racist. I'm the least racist person. And then he calls these places shitholes. I told y'all, when he talks, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Every time he talks, when he says, oh man, I love this, it means he hates it. Dumb people, that's what I'm saying. People like him are that see-through. They're that transparent. They're that transparent. There's nothing sneaky about the guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing mysterious. He's just your typical racist ass rich white dude. And now we are where we are. Is this what you want for your kids? Is this the true leader? Is this a president who is presiding over this diverse body of people equally and fairly? Is this how you want your kids to carry themselves and engage with people? Is this how you want your kids to handle conflicts? I ask you. What is your definition of a leader? That? Or this? You know? What's your definition? What the hell he is? Or somebody who's in control? Is it somebody who like him who's out of control? Or somebody who's in control? Huh? Is it someone like him who can direct? Or someone like him who is indirect and cannot direct? Is it someone like him who doesn't know how to govern? Or a real president who can govern? Who is responsible for? That man talking the way he's talking, does that sound like somebody who's responsible? Is that what responsibility sounds like? Is that how we should tell our kids? That is how you're responsible, son. When you are in a conflict with somebody, confrontation with somebody, son, publicly, I want you to call them fat and ugly and demean them as much as you can instead of trying to handle it peacefully in private and then jumping back on and saying, hey, we handle it, we're all good. Huh? What do you want to do, son? No, you know what, son? That's how you do it. You stay rude. You belittle people as much as you can, son. On any public forum, son. You disregard any demographic of people who don't look like you, son. And wife, I want you to do the same thing too. I want you to let rich men who are stars grab you by the pussy. That's what I want you to do, daughter. I want you to let rich white men grab you by the pussy, rich stars. Because they're going to do it. That's what he said, right? That's what he said. So that's what we need. I guess that's what it is. That's what it is. So I guess your kids will know what's up. So they'll know to expect to be grabbed by the pussy. And then your son will know to grab the pussy when he get the money, right? Get the money, just start grabbing pussy. They love it. Just fucking kiss on them, do it. That's what he said, right? Just fucking do it. Just walk up to them. They don't give a fuck. Even if they're married. Right, son? Son, make sure when you're rich, son, just like your president, grab women by the pussy. And, oh, they're married? Doesn't matter, son. Your president, he did it. It's all good. He's good people. I trust him. So you know what I'm saying? It's all good. So this is somebody we should emulate. All right. Well, I get it loud and clear. We'll see how far it gets y'all. So this has been the sequel to The President, a True Leader? I think not. The President, sad, man. It really is. It really is. It's a sad deal. Because, to be honest with you, I don't enjoy this. But it is what it is. Like I said, you just got to know what side you on, man. Because it really is disturbing. Sad. With that being said, I'm out. Y'all have a good night. And I hope maybe somehow you can recalibrate your definition of a leader. And for the sake of your kids,